What up, YouTube? My name is Denia. Welcome back to my channel, gang. And today I'm coming with y'all with a reaction video. I'm not reacting to the other three. I couldn't do the third one because it was like a little bit too weird. But if you're new here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because y'all already know we the latest in the game. And today I'm coming with y'all with Scary Sleepover Horror Stories Animated. Now I think it's like three or two. But we're gonna go ahead and get started with the first one. So let's go.
This happened when I was 7 years old. I was a very timid girl back then, and the events that transpired that day have stuck with me ever since. I was staying over at a friend's house one Saturday afternoon, and we were both sitting on the couch watching cartoons. For the sake of this story, we'll call my friend Kate. Kate was 2 years older than me and could be best described as a tomboy. Unlike me, she was tough and didn't hesitate to beat up any boy at school for saying mean things behind her back. At the time, I had a tendency to do whatever Kate told me to, even if I didn't want to do it. Anyways, after watching cartoons for a while, I got hungry, so I left the couch and went into the kitchen to grab a snack. The kitchen was small and had a door that led straight to the backyard, and below it was a little doggy door. Kate no longer had a dog, but the door wasn't removed for some reason. As soon as I stepped into the kitchen doorway, my eyes zeroed in on the doggy door, and I froze. To my absolute horror, a grown man with long brown hair was poking his head inside. I couldn't see his face, just the top of his head as he was looking up at the doorknob, probably trying to see if he could reach it. I quickly and quietly ran around the corner to hide. Thankfully, he didn't see me, as much as he was too busy trying to squeeze his arm through the door. Kate's parents were out shopping at the time, so we were both home alone with this guy trying to break in. And it was here that I made my first mistake. Instead of calling the police, I ran back to the living room where Kate was and told her about the man.
What is she gonna do? Beat him up? These are not middle schoolers. This is a full-grown man, you idiot.
Thought I was joking, so I grabbed her by the hand and pulled her off the couch, then led her back to the kitchen so she could see the man for herself. Sure enough, he was still there. His face was still obscured as he was looking up at the doorknob, but this time, he had his whole arm inside the doggy door and tried to reach for the knob. Kate let out a soft whimper before quickly putting her hand over her mouth. It was the first time I saw her look so scared, but she looked back at me. Her fears seemingly went away. She then placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder and put her fingers to her lips to keep me quiet. "Don't worry. We're gonna teach that creep a lesson he'll never forget," she said with a smug grin. I wasn't sure what she was planning. We were two scrawny little girls dressed in tank tops and shorts. Not exactly the picture of intimidation, but like an idiot, I agreed to go along with whatever she was up to. "Okay," I said. "Great. We're gonna have to sneak up on this guy. So do what I do and follow me, and be quiet," she said before walking into the kitchen with me close behind. Even though we tried our best to be stealthy, our feet squeaked loudly across the floor with every step we took. Kate's mom must have cleaned the floor recently, and since Kate and I were both barefoot, the squeaking was twice as loud. We stopped and looked at each other nervously for a moment, thinking we were done for. But fortunately, the man's constant fumbling with the locked door blocked any of the squeaks we made. So by sheer dumb luck, he wasn't alerted of our presence, even though our footsteps were as loud as an incoming freight train. My heart raced as we continued walking forward, getting closer and closer to the intruder. The man hadn't noticed us yet, but he yanked his head and arm out after seemingly giving up on reaching for the knob. Kate sighed in disappointment, but I'd figured he'd be back to try again. She then sat down in front of the doggy door while I sat beside her. as soon as he pokes his head in, we're gonna kick him as hard as we can. Kate snickered as she raised both of her feet off the floor and bent her knees back, preparing them for the kick. I did the same, and we both just stayed in that position.
Bro, why? Y'all animators be doing them so wrong.
For the man to return. No more than 20 seconds passed before the doggy door flapped open again, and the man popped his head in, this time giving us a good look at his face. We didn't kick. We just sat there, frozen, eyes wide with fear.
Birthday breakfast in bed?
Bruh.
I just dreamt this. Dreamt what? Well,
Eyes wide with fear as we tried to comprehend what we were looking at. His face, my God, his face looked like it had all of its skin ripped off, leaving only
Oh my God.
with the brown hair, but his face was gone. This is not a face we were expecting to see. Looking back, I'm not sure if his skin was actually gone, or if he just had a detailed tattoo, which my 7-year-old brain believed to be real. And if it was a tattoo, then damn, it was a good one.
You a 7-year-old. You 7 years old. You're not even supposed to be using cuss words. But I guess it was back when you was little, so I don't know.
Sinews around his cheekbones looked so lifelike that it left both me and my friend petrified. The man himself was also surprised when he saw us for the first time. He glanced between the two of us, completely speechless. And why wouldn't he be? He wasn't expecting to find two little girls waiting for him on the other side of the door, with their bare feet raised in the air, ready to strike, mere inches from his face. The entire situation was so surreal. After a minute of awkward silence, as we just looked at each other, the man finally smiled at us. And when he did, my friend and I began to quake in fear. As if this guy couldn't get any weirder, his mouth was full of razor-sharp teeth, almost as if he were a monster straight out of a horror movie. Then, without warning, he lunged his head forward, mouth wide open like he was ready to—
In the kitchen, grab a knife. Do y'all not think?
Kate and I screamed as we fell back on our backs, yanking our feet away from the man's teeth as they snapped shut. He missed us by mere centimeters, and we weren't about to stick around so he could try again. I quickly scrambled to my feet and bolted out the kitchen. Kate, however, took a little longer to get up, and the man was able to grab her ankle, making her fall to the floor. Looking over my shoulder, I could see Kate screaming as she was being dragged towards the man, who once again had his mouth open, ready to take a bite. Kate started kicking the man's face with her other foot, making him let go for a moment, only to grab her other foot. I raced back into the kitchen, grabbed a few apples that had been sitting on a nearby table, and started throwing them at the man. The man groaned in annoyance as he let my friend go and scrambled out of the doggy door. We could hear his frantic footsteps fading away as he finally left the house. I guess he didn't think breaking in was worth getting pelted by apples. We never told Kate's parents about what happened. I mean, what would we even tell them? A man with no skin on his face and a mouthful of sharp teeth tried to break in and nearly bit off our toes? Her parents would think we were crazy. I don't know if that guy was ever caught, but I hope he never tries this with anyone else. I'll probably never forget that face for as long as I live.
Well, dang, that's good to know. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a big fat like on this video. Make sure to comment and subscribe because y'all already know we the latest in the game. We coming with part 2 tomorrow. I got y'all because I didn't upload yesterday. That was my fault. Because the recording, I recorded it. I was thinking about uploading it, but it was like, that was too weird. But yeah, I guess I'm going to see y'all in my next video. So, peace.